So there's been talks recently that KHAMZAT CHEMIEV is the UFC are trying to make a KHAMZAT CHEMIEV versus a Gilbert Burns fight, and I think this is an incredible fight. Gilbert Burns is 100% legit. I mean, he's coming off a huge win against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, and to be honest, it's impressive that he beat Stephen Wonderboy Thompson because of the fact that stylistically, obviously Wonderboy Thompson has a better edge on him in terms of striking, yet Gilbert Burns managed to beat him quite decisively, and it was quite an impressive way that he actually beat him as well. He was very dominant and he looked like he was on top of the world. So for KHAMZAT CHEMIEV to get a fight against Gilbert Burns, and if he manages to beat Gilbert Burns quite decisively as well, I mean, that's a massive scalp on his resume. Now, a lot of people have been criticising KHAMZAT CHEMIEV, saying he doesn't fight anyone within the top 10. If he beats Gilbert Burns, if I'm not mistaken, is a top 5. He's ranked in the top 5. Like, he is in the top 10, but he is ranked around the top 5. Let's look at the UFC ranking right now, just to be 100% sure. So, yeah, let's see. UFC rankings, welterweight. Obviously, yeah, Gilbert Burns is ranked number 2, according to Ranking MMA. But in terms of the actual UFC website itself, I think Gilbert Burns is he's ranked number 2. Yeah, Colby Covington is number 1, but Gilbert Burns is number 2. So if KHAMZAT CHEMIEV beats him, I mean that's a huge scalp on his resume. That's him showing who he actually is within the welterweight division and making the world be on notice. Like, the world is on notice already. Don't get it twisted. Everyone's really impressed with his talent, but if he beats Gilbert Burns, I mean, that's a huge scalp on his resume, and I think it gives him precedence in some way. Like, it validates what he's been saying all this time. All this time he said that he wants to smoke with everyone. And to some extent, like, obviously COVID-19 got in his way, but now that if he fights Gilbert Burns and if he beats Gilbert Burns, I mean, that's a huge scalp on his resume. That's him basically saying to the world, look at me, I'm the main man. Like, I'm the dude that's most likely to give Kamaru Usman problems. Now, if he beats him in a more decisive fashion, the way he's been beating his last several opponents, if he beats him in that type of fashion, and he does it more conclusively than Kamaru Usman beat Gilbert Burns, I mean, that's massive. That's absolutely massive. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this fight. I hope it happens. If KHAMZAT CHEMIEV can fight Gilbert Burns and beat him, I mean, that's a huge scalp on his resume. I was never a big fan of KHAMZAT CHEMIEV in terms of the way he carried himself, like his arrogance and his ego and all of that stuff. But if he's beating Gilbert Burns, I mean, my God, you got to give him some credit at that point. Like, I decide on how great a fight is depending on, like, what he's actually accomplished, who he's actually beat, and what he's actually done in his career. So if he manages to beat Gilbert Burns, I mean, I have to give him massive props for that. The fact that he wants a fight against Gilbert Burns so early in his career, like, he's only had 10 fights, and Gilbert Burns has had several more fights at a very higher level than he's been at, and he wants to fight him in only his 10th fight. I mean, that does say a lot about KHAMZAT CHEMIEV's willingness to go in there against the top fighters, so you can only commend him for that. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that fight if it does happen, and hopefully we get to see it. Tell me who you think wins this fight. In terms of who I think wins, I'm not going to hold out for a prediction yet, because obviously the fight has to be confirmed and signed. When the fight gets confirmed and signed and they pencil in a date when it's going to happen, then I'm going to come up with a prediction. At this moment in time, I'm just reporting the news and telling you that they're looking into this fight. But until an actual date is actually confirmed and they're going to say they're going to fight, that's when we'll think about, like, who's going to win this fight if they do fight. But yeah, that's just my initial thoughts about this. It's a very exciting fight. He obviously wanted to fight with Leon Edwards, and Leon Edwards is ranked, let's see where Leon Edwards is ranked. Leon Edwards is ranked number 3. So yeah, that top 5 is stacked. I mean, I'm surprised he's not going in there against like a Neil Magny or Michael Chiesa. KHAMZAT CHEMIEV wants the top dudes, man. He really does want the top fighters in the sport. I mean, that's just who he is. I mean, he's coming for the smoke and he wants it. and I personally love that one aspect about him, that he really does want to fight the best of the best. But yeah, that's just my opinion of this. Tell me your opinion, and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.